We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
G'day everyone, back so soon. I am so sorry about the audio level on my previous video. I did figure out how to fix it and reload it, and I'm glad some of you watched it. Sorry to go on a bit. It's like, God, it's like a public talk, I guess. How boring. But anyway, I'm sorry. So I will promise to be short, and I'll keep an eye on the time in the corner and not waffle on. But anyway, this video was just, as you were aware, as I said, there was a newspaper article that came out last Sunday. It was across national papers across all the capital cities in Australia. It was quite a short article in the paper. Apparently sitting behind a paywall, there's quite a long article, and I will put a link to Mike and Kim, to their video that they go into some detail and read the article through. Got my face in it. Oh God, the JWs at the local school who kind of shun me and won't talk to me. They're going to be giving me daggers now, that's for sure. But anyway, such is life. All right, so that article that was in the paper, I'll just hold that on. That secretive sect accused of stashing cash to avoid compo, and there's Lara, quite a well-known ex-JW there. Yeah. Now, has the Watchtower done anything illegal financially? I hate to be the devil's advocate, and I'm going to have to say no. As far financially, the Watchtower hasn't technically done anything wrong. When donations go into the box at the Kingdom Hall, and when surplus funds get stripped from bank accounts of the congregations and people leave money, all of this has been placed into that worldwide work. And by definition, the worldwide work is for worldwide work in regards to Jehovah's Witnesses and advancing their religion. So technically, money being donated overseas from donations received here is in itself nothing illegal. And as far as just further on my video about the money, how it tracked the finances to finished in 2016 had been sent to England up until that point, and then it seemed to disappear. Well, I had a chat online with Avoid JW, and he basically pointed me in the right direction, and where the money goes now is to Germany. And that's because and going off the Watchtower Society's own news blurb, Germany grants the highest legal status to Jehovah's Witnesses, and that was in 2017. So surprise, surprise, the money trail that we tracked to 2016 that disappeared would now be going into a legal religion in Germany that has tax-free status and is now accepting the funds from Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world. So the money's being channeled over to there. And you know, the only obligation that they have to meet there, and it's the same as Australia under the Australian Charities Commission, the only obligation they really have to meet is that they show that they're not funding terrorism or laundering finances for criminal activities. But that's by definition. Snare and a racket, that sounds a bit criminal, but anyway, so to the letter of the law, they're not doing anything wrong with that. Now, morally, here's a question, and this is the one that's more important for a organisation that claims to be Jehovah's visible representation on earth, and holier than thou, and can do no wrong in their eyes. Morally, has the Watchtower done the wrong thing? Well, morally, yes they have. And just before I look at the reason why, one thing the Australian charities, God, it's an IQ test and it gets me every time. The charity reserves financial stability and sustainability. Now, this is from the Australian Charities and Consumer and Non-for-Profit Commission, should get it right, put out these information flyers, and it talks about that a charity should have financial stability and sustainability. I'm just going to read you a few points from it. And it's why is it important to have reserves? As well as supporting a charity's financial stability and sustainability, reserves can play an important part in a charity's management of risk. Reserves help to maintain financial stability and allow a charity to meet its commitments, continue to undertake work, and deliver services even when unexpected events or costs arise. There are a range of situations in life of a charity where reserves may be needed. Further down, it says a charity may also need to draw on its reserves to respond to unexpected changes in its financial position. For example, it may need reserves to cover, and the bottom listing, unexpected legal costs. Well, the legal costs that are coming are not unexpected. And further to that, the why it says about the charities should have a appropriate level of reserves, and basically how long is a piece of string. They can't put an actual figure on that. Every charity has to decide that for themselves. But it does say, on one hand, having no or little reserves may be detrimental to a charity. A low level of reserves may place a charity's operation at risk if it is to face with sudden unexpected costs. Now, the costs we're talking about, they're not unexpected, and potentially they're going to be huge. If we go off the suggested rate for compensation from the Charities Commission, the Watchtower, if they were to pay every survivor of child abuse from the Watchtower, they're looking at $135 million. They don't have $135 million, do they? We've seen that from the financial report for 2019, that they've gone into deficit, a self-imposed deficit, but like I said, to the letter of the constitution of the Watchtower and its operation as a charity, the money that's donated to worldwide work is legitimately sent overseas. So, like I said, financially, they haven't done anything wrong, but morally, yes, they have. And I reckon they're sailing close to the wind. In that financial statement that the Watchtower and all the charities that have to report financial statements, as in, I think this is probably standard, I'm not a corporate businessman, there's a note that talks about events after the reporting period. And I'll just read you what it says. And this is from the 2019 notes on to the financial statement they put out. It says, the directors, that's of the Watchtower here in Australia, are not aware of any matters or circumstances that have arisen since the end of the financial year which significantly affected or may significantly affect the operations of the entity, the results of those operations, or the state of affairs of the entity in subsequent financial years. Right, well, you could probably get away with that prior to the Royal Commission, so up to 2015. So all the other financial reports before that, yes, you could probably say, oh, there's nothing immediately going to affect our finances in a major way. 2015, after the Royal Commission, when the redress scheme was brought to the fore straight away, and it's there that's coming. The Watchtower has internal letters about trying to soften the Royal Commission's blow against them, all those things. So they know from 2015 that yes, $135 million is a detrimental legal cost that the society is potentially facing. And for them to have been running the charity into a deficit, proving that they don't, I'll just reach and grab that, proving that they don't have the reserves, shows that they're really unfit to operate a charity, that they have no foresight and, not in the interest of the charity. But it's more than that. Look, it's not the dollars and cents. It's the recognition of the wrong that's been committed within their structure. They'll say it's nothing to do with them. They don't promote pedophilia or anything like that. But it has happened. They have covered it up. They were shown to have covered it up. The Justice McClellan said they were the worst example of any institution before the Royal Commission for systematically hiding and covering up child abuse and for perpetrators. So morally, they've done the wrong thing, and now they are going to cry poor. Again, as the Natalie, the reporter, put in her notes, will the Watchtower Society sign up by the end of the month? I don't think they will. They're going to run the risk of the Charity Commission, but considering our Prime Minister is a happy clappy, he's best mates with the head of Hillsong, who was refused entry into the US just recently because of his role in covering up child abuse that was uncovered at the Royal Commission. So they might get a bit of a lenient run because they're a religion, but hopefully justice will be done. And if they lose their charity status, all the better that they have to report. And it'll be interesting times. But there's a whole lot more in the Australian Charities Commission's website, information and stuff, and about these other charities. I'm going to delve into that with a few other people who are interested and talk about it. And I will be back to fill you in on some more, and we'll count down to the end of the month, and I'll make some posts, and I'm going to keep it short. See, I'm at 12 minutes 54. Awesome. Finish it at lucky 13. Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Let the joyous news be spread, the wicked old witch at last is dead.